राधाय कृष्ण प्रश्राय भूतले श्रीमते राधानाथ स्वामिनिति नामिनी। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रश्राय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिनी। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्य देशतारिणे। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितमेन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देगं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सकगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसूते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ईश्वरा परम कृष्ण सच्चिदानंद विग्रहम अनादिरादिर गोविंदा सर्व कारण कारणम। Hare Krishna. My Lord Sri Krishna's causeless mercy, we have finished 5 slokas in the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, attaining the Supreme. So here Krishna is answering for most of this chapter, 8th chapter. Krishna is answering just one question asked by Arjuna. In fact, Arjuna asked many questions in 2 slokas. In that, Krishna answered all the questions in the first in 2 slokas except one question. That one important question is that Arjuna asked, Prayana kalecha katam nyeyosi niyatatmavi. So niyatatmavihi means one who is self-controlled. That's what niyatatmavihi. So in this world, what does self-control mean? So self-control means, first of all, we should know what is self. So self is the soul. We are not the body, we are the soul. So there is the self. Our self is the soul. So self-control means when the soul controls mind and senses. So that's what it is meant by self-control. And that kind of controlling of mind and controlling of senses, yesterday I explained at length, can happen only when we have the knowledge about how to do that. Anything in this world, when we want to become expert in something, we will get the knowledge. We'll go there and go to some institution, we'll join there and we'll get trained and we'll get knowledge, we'll gain experience. So everything needs experience. Like if you want to fly a plane, if you want to become a pilot, there is so much of training is needed to get certified. So like that, anything, whatever we want to do. So similarly, if you want to control, if you want to gain our self-control, so that means if you want to control our mind, that means we should have the knowledge. First of all, we should have the operating instructions, operation manuals, and the knowledge. So then only we can follow them and practice them to achieve the success. So basically, that knowledge is this Bhagavad Gita. So about controlling the mind, how to control the mind. So that knowledge is given in this Bhagavad Gita very clearly. Anyone who understands this knowledge fully and just follows the instructions given by Krishna fully will be able to control the mind. So first thing is that our mind is disturbed all the time because we are attached to results in this world. So that's why Krishna is repeatedly saying in Bhagavad Gita that Tyaktva karma pala shangam. So you give up the attachment to the results. Krishna is not asking us to give up the results. Krishna is asking us to give up the attachment to the results. So that is the main thing. So when we give up the attachment to the results, then our mind will not be disturbed. That is the main point here. Because our mind, Arjuna says to Krishna that it is chanchalam. Chanchalam means it's restless. Our mind is restless, chanchalam. And also it's very strong. It's balam. and it's very obstinate. It's dridam, balam dridam. Chanchalamgi mana Krishna pramati. It's turbulent, obstinate, and very strong. Pramati, balavat, dridam. So how are we going to control that mind and keep it under our control all the time? So when we sense problems from outside, we should be able to, first of all, withdraw our senses from the sense objects. So Krishna is giving a very nice example, nice analogy in the second chapter. Yada samharate chayam kurma anganiva sarvasaga. Kurma is the tortoise. So when it sees problem, when it senses trouble, it immediately withdraws all its limbs under its shell. So that's why yada samharate chayam kurma anganiva sarvasaga. Indriyani indriyartebhyaga tasya prajna pratisthita. So like that, one who is able to withdraw the senses from the sense objects. So then our intelligence is very well established. Tasya prajna, prajna, his prajna. Tasya means his. So his intelligence is pratisthita, is very well established, very well situated. So that means when we can declare, when we can say that we have intelligence, we can say only we have intelligence when we are able to withdraw our senses from the sense objects. If you are not able to do that, what if the tortoise just keeps its limbs outside? Then it will be dead. It will be in trouble. So like that, here in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is teaching us the techniques, giving us the knowledge about how to withdraw our senses from the sense object. So that is going to be possible only if our mind is under our control. Yesterday I was explaining some slokas where Krishna is saying that yes, Indriyani manasa niyamya arabate arjuna. So this Indriyani means senses, niyamya means regulation, and manasa means mind. We should be able to regulate our senses with the help of our mind. But if our mind is not in our control, then the mind will go after these sense objects. The senses will carry away the mind. Indriyanam ki charatam yanmanonu vidiyade tadasya harati prajnam vayurnava mivambasa. So even one of the roaming senses on which the mind focuses can carry away the intelligence. So these are all very much interconnected. So when we study and understand this Bhagavad Gita very well, and Krishna is teaching us that the only way to control our mind is to focus our mind on God. First of all, we need to understand, realize that we are not the body, we are the soul. And as soon as we realize that we are the soul, we should also understand and realize that there is a super soul, there is God. So without God, bringing God into picture, without realizing that fact, without realizing that God is there, we cannot control our mind. Because the art of mind control, the mind control itself is possible only when we are able to connect, when we are able to use our mind in connecting with God. So that way our mind will be focused on God. So Krishna, that's why Krishna is repeatedly saying in Bhagavad Gita that Machitto, Manas Samyamya Machitto. You control your mind, Manas Samyamya. You control your mind by thinking about me, Machitto. That's the important thing. So that way, the art of mind control, the process of controlling our mind is just by remembering God. So when it comes in general, when people, different religions, different times they say that different God names, all such things, there is no need to get a lot of confusion in this. Because here what we are getting all this knowledge from just one book, that is Bhagavad Gita. And what is the meaning of Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita means the song of God. And this is a time-tested knowledge. It is there forever. It is the Purana, it is the oldest knowledge. And it is Pavitram, it is the purest knowledge. And here everything is given, all the knowledge. This entire Bhagavad Gita talks about only about our soul, the nature of our soul, and what are we how are we suffering and struggling in this material world, and what is the life. In fact, if there is a question about what is life after death, life beyond birth and death, that question can be very well answered only in Bhagavad Gita. In fact, that's what is the sloka what we are studying these days in the 8th chapter, attaining the Supreme. So here we understand that we have to remember God at the time of death to go to Him. So we are understanding from Bhagavad Gita, there are two types of natures: material nature and spiritual nature. Material world and spiritual world. So in the spiritual world, there is nothing changing. Nothing is made up of matter. Whereas in this material world, everything is changing and everything is made up of matter. So that part is very clearly understood, because Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita that the abode of mind is never illumined by sun, moon or fire. Natat bhasayate suryo nasasanko na pavaka. Yadgatva na nivartante taddama paramam mama. If anyone comes there, then he will not come back to this material world again. So that's why we repeatedly call this world as material world. The reason we call it as material world, because it is made up of matter. Whereas spiritual world, where nothing is made up of matter. And because our knowledge is very much restricted in this material world, with our science, with our subjects, what we study, with our scientific understanding, with all our technologies, everything is based upon matter. So that way we all think that the world means it has to have matter. It will be like this. First of all, the science itself, it cannot even accept that there is soul, but it can accept that there is electron. We don't see electron, but we accept it, because we are able to get the benefits just by accepting there is electrons. There are electrons. Because of that, now we have advanced so much in our science. If from the beginning, if we didn't accept that fact, then if the scientists didn't accept that there are electrons, then we won't be having this much of improvement in technology. So like that, here we just have to accept the fact that we are the soul. We are not the body, we are the soul. If that one particular important fact, that belief, basically it's a faith. When first time when the scientists accepted there are electrons, that is based on observations. Because you're not seeing the electrons, you're not seeing the nucleus, you're not seeing the nucleus, protons, but you are observing its presence through some other results, some other way you are observing it. So that's why you are believing in it. And because of those beliefs, we are able to progress. So similarly, here in our body, this body without soul, this body has no value. Everything is made up of matter. And Krishna is saying very clearly that the soul is inside this body. Yathakasho sthito nityam vayuga sarvatra gomahan sarvatra avasthito dege tathatma nopalipyate. So this vayu, which is there, wherever it goes, it's still inside this space. Yathakasho sthito nityam vayuga sarvatra gomahan. So the air, wherever it's in the space, but it's still in the space. So like that, the soul, which is inside the body, but that air doesn't mix with the space. So similarly, the soul doesn't mix with the body. So that way, this concept, this scientific fact that we are the soul, if you understand that very well, if you believe in that, then we need to get all the knowledge given in Bhagavad Gita. Because Krishna is saying very clearly that we are not happy in this world. And we cannot be happy in this world. Because this world itself is Dukhalayam. It's a place for miseries. So that means, since our life, our existence in this world is temporary, and everything is temporary. So now this time, this very, very crucial time available for us, very, very important, invaluable human life, we should effectively use to understand more about ourselves. And we should try to satisfy the needs of our soul, not satisfying the needs of our body, which is not going to help at the time of death. When we get old, nothing is going to help us. Nobody can help us. When we are going to leave this body, we are going to leave. We are going to die. Nobody can stop it. Even the doctors, they themselves cannot help themselves. Even the doctors also will die. Even the doctor understands everything about this body, all kinds of medications. But when the doctor gets old, the doctor also has to die. Everybody has to die in this world. Nobody can live here forever. So that is the fact. So that way, we should be very sincere in actually exploring and understanding what are we going to do when we die? What is going to happen after death? So when we believe in that, we are the soul. So then we should also follow this Bhagavad Gita and understand very well. That's why in this chapter, in the 8th chapter, this entire chapter, for that one question Arjuna asked, prayana kalecha katam nyeyosi niyatatmavi. At the time of death, how to know you? That's what Arjuna is asking Krishna. So when we take Bhagavad Gita, we take Bhagavad Gita as it is. And we study Bhagavad Gita, everything as it is, not changing a single word. If we try to do that, then we will not get the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So that way, in this Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying that, this sloka what we studied yesterday, Krishna is saying that at the time of death, anyone who remembers me, he will come to me. So this is like a death wish. It's not that only a person who has got death punishment in the jail will get the death wish, the last wish. So every one of us, in fact, that punishment is there for us. Every one of us are going to die. And at the time of death, so whatever we remember, we are going to get it. So that way, we should be able to control our mind in this life itself, now itself. So our mind will become the best friend of us. So then our mind will not be disturbed about anything. So then we will be able to live very happily in this life itself. We don't even have to worry about death. We don't even have to worry about what's going to happen in the next life. In this life itself. So Krishna is saying that Ihaiva taigi jitaga saggo yesam samye sthitam managa nirdosham ki samam brahma tasmat brahmani te sthitaka. Ihaiva taigi jitaga saggo. In this life itself, we should conquer the next birth in this material world. That's what jitaga saggo. So the opportunity is there for us. It's available for us to make sure that we won't be forced to accept another material body. That's why Ihaiva Taigi. Ihaiva means in this life itself. Ihaiva Taigi Jitaga Sargo Yesam Samye Sitam Managa. So that is possible only by controlling our mind. Yesam Samye Sitam Managa. So that's why this mind control is very important. Only when we control our mind, we will be able to actually win over this material world. We will be able to go to Krishna's world, spiritual world. So that's why controlling mind. Yesam samye sthitam managa. Nirdosam hi samam brahma. So nirdosam means without any faults. Completely cleaning ourselves from all kinds of misconceptions, all kinds of sinful reactions, everything. Nirdosam hi samam brahma. That samam. Samam is a very important word. That means equal. Equal in all respects. All the time equal. Not getting disturbed. Not getting bothered by the dualities in this material world. So that's why nirdosam hi samam brahma. Tasmat brahmani te sthitaka. So that means they are situated in Brahman. So when we come to that level, then we are eligible for liberation. Then we are no longer worried about whatever is going to happen to us in this material world. We are no longer afraid of death. We are no longer afraid of anything in this material world. So that way, this life we should utilize to become like that. We should use all the resources. We should use all the time available for us only to only to realize about ourselves and controlling our mind and making our mind as our best friend. So all these things can happen only if we realize that there is God, Supreme God, Krishna is there. And if we are able to connect with Him, and if we are able to identify our relationship with Him, and if our life, the goal of our life is only to do everything to please Him, so then our life will be so much of meaning. It will be very meaningful and also very blissful, very purposeful and very blissful. So that's why Krishna is saying that Anta Kalecha Mameva Smaran Muktva Kalevaram Yaprayati Sa Madbhavam Yati Nasti Atra Samsega. At the time of death, if anyone remembers me, he will come to me. There is no doubt about it. So that way, we should always remember Krishna. We should never forget Krishna and get this full knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. And with this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we are able to always connect with Krishna. We are able to remember Krishna. And then definitely we are progressing towards Krishna. So that way, definitely, if not in this life, it is possible in this life itself. But if it is not possible, definitely whatever progress we make towards Krishna, we are not going to lose them. So we are not going to lose them. Whereas materially speaking, whatever progress we make, everything we are going to lose at the time of death. Everything. So that way, this Bhagavad Gita is the purest knowledge which purifies our body, purifies our soul. So then Atma Suddhaye, so when our Atma is purified, so we will be eligible to enter. We will be able to eligible to enter Krishna's well. So that is the main thing. So now in the next sloka, in the sloka number 6 in the 8th chapter, Krishna is continuing the same thing. Whatever he said yesterday in the sloka, what we studied in the 5th sloka, Krishna is continuing that yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram tam tamevaiti kaunteya sada tatbhava bhavitaha. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam. So whatever form one remembers, yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajati ante kalevaram. Tyajati means when you give up this body, when we leave this body. Tyajati ante, at the end of this life, kalevaram, this body. Kalevaram means the body. When we quit this body, when we give up this body at the time of death, whatever form one remembers, yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajati ante kalevaram tam tam mevaiti kaunteya. So we will get that form. We will get that form. Tam tam mevaiti kaunteya. Sada tadbhava bhavitaga. So that's why whatever we were remembering during our life, so that's what we are going to remember at the time of death. So that's why we should remember Krishna during our life. We should remember Krishna in everything. So that's why Krishna repeatedly is saying in Bhagavad Gita that you always remember me. That way we'll get Krishna. Krishna is there with us right now in our body as the super soul. But when we are not able to achieve Krishna, we are not able to see Krishna because we are controlled by the 3 modes of material nature. And we need to get rid of these 3 modes of material nature. That's going to be possible only when we give up the attachment to the results. When we are no longer attached to the results, then material modes of nature are not going to bind us. Because the binding, karma bandha and janma bandha happens only when we are attached to the results. So once we give up that attachment to the results, then material modes of nature are going to free us. And we will be able to give up that attachment to this material well, the results, only if we are able to attach ourselves with Krishna. So that's why remembering Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and focusing our mind on Krishna, and doing everything as an offering unto Krishna, all those things are very much needed in our life. And that's going to automatically happen when we get the knowledge of this Bhagavad Gita. Once we get the complete knowledge of this Bhagavad Gita, then everything is very, very clear to us. We have no more questions, no more doubts, and we understand everything clearly, and we'll just focus on serving Krishna, because Krishna is also going to serve us. So that way, in fact, we will be able to accept Krishna's service. By getting the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, it is not that we are going to serve Krishna, we are going to please Krishna. And we will get ourselves very much pleased with Krishna. And we will be able to receive the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's why Krishna is saying that get this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So we are very fortunate we are getting this knowledge. So we are understanding we are not the body, we are the soul. And we know that it's very important to control our mind. And we also know the procedures, instructions given by Krishna about how to control the mind. And one of the best service also we can do to Krishna is actually, this is a very, very important knowledge. It's a king of knowledge. So we should educate. So education is the key thing. Not only material education, but the spiritual education is also very, very important. So we should educate as many devotees as possible. So that way we will be able to elevate ourselves towards Krishna. We will be able to make a lot of progress towards Krishna. So by Krishna's cast mercy, today we finished the sloka number 6 in the 8th chapter. Hare Krishna. I will stop now and we'll discuss if any questions are there. Hare Krishna.